Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please, presenting the partner. Aye.
Give it up, everyone. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. Alright.
Hey, just, one thing, just start it.
Alright, I kicked it right now.
Yeah, just take it away.
The partner began to tell his tale as the group looked on while he drank malt ale. He said, "Ladies and gents and assorted folk, I got a story to tell, but it's not a joke. If there's one thing I learned as a moral lesson, greed and avarice is the source of all stressing. But before I continue to speak about this measure, I wondered if any of you wanted a little, and if you wanted a little treasure. I have pardoned relics and bones that will shield people from certain pain in hell, and they will surely yield to human inspection, and they'll provide much blessing. However, I'm gonna be honest, I got a confession to make. My integrity's at stake. All the stuff I sell is fake. I preach against avarice, greed, and selfish gain. And all I care about is fine linens and grain. Wool, cheese, crystal goblets, and meat. I don't care if I suffer or poor and meek. Widow children will wind up dead. I just want my wine, loaves, and hot chicks in bed. However, and as messed up as I may be, my sermons are powerful messages. I'll teach all of you. Fear of God, hate of greed, and avarice, and inspire all of you to be righteous and nice.
All right.
I feel that, you know what I'm saying? That's how we do. But, okay, try to drop the beat now, I don't care. Go.
All right, drop and beat.
A long time ago in Belgium there was a crew who liked to gamble, sing, eat and drink brew. They were instigators, gangsters and devil worshippers who liked to curse, swear and beg girls who looked like strippers. One day 3 of them were chilling in a bar, waiting for drinks when they saw a coffin from afar. They ordered the waiter to go and investigate who the dead man was and why he was levitate. The guy came back and began to explain that death had come through and by plague had slain over 1,000 people nearby, and more were lame. It's best if we be on high alert and stay sane. Who the hell is this bastard, this old geezer death? Said one of the men that killed so many without a breath. I agree, said another. Let's join forces as brothers who will look for each other like kin from other mothers and slaughter death who took from us our friends and sent their souls to the heaven which the Holy Lord tends. Yeah, that's it. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. I have no such intention, said the wizard, no such desire. But if you go left, he'll be there right by the fire, under the oak tree, hanging out on the ground. He isn't scared at all by the fury of his son. I left him there earlier today. He's all alone and he's ready to play. The sinner's crew ran straight to the tree by the fire, waiting on death, but he was nowhere to be seen. Instead, they focused on a new concern, hundreds of gold coins inside some clay urns. The sheer amount of gourds kept him enthralled. As he sat down on the earth, the face was still bald. At last, the chief Doug said to his fellows, "Fortune and fate intended us to be happy and mellow. I would take all of this dash, all of the gold to our homes right now, but then we would be sold to the court. No one would help us out in this town. That this heap of coins we didn't steal, it was found. True, said the second, we can't go back. We'll be able to bring the treasure when the sky turns black. In the meanwhile, to celebrate our victory, one of us will go back to town to fetch bread, wine, and hickory. Therefore, we must draw around a lot, and the two who will win shall guard these spots. Then, when the sun sets and the night falls, we will whisk our treasure back and throw a festive ball." And so the trio cast their lots and pulled the straws. The youngest of them lost his round of draws. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. With a hop in his step, he ran off to town as the first turned to the second when the young was out of sound. "Listen, brother," he said, "I was thinking and wondering, how can we increase our profits without angering the youngling? To make it more profitable from 3 men to 2, I tell you what will we do?" The second said with a clear head. He knows we are guarding his stash. We don't want to act too quick or piss him off from being too rash. "I'm a friend, but I have a sneaky plan to solve this problem by betraying our third man. You see, it's me and you versus him 1 on 2. When he returns, we will celebrate and drink the brew. Then we will wrestle him playfully, fake fight and scuffle, and then I pull out the blade cause you know I hustle, and stab him in the back and you'll jab him in the belly, then bury his corpse so it don't become smelly." The second agreed and began to descend, to dig out the grave for his youngest friend's untimely end. And so these two agreed to kill the youngest for greed and ill will. Yeah, that's it. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. As the older two sat by the trees to conspire, the youngest was near town, his heart full of joy and fire. He started to the devil to scheme and deliberate of killing his two friends if the gold would satiate his lust, his passions, his every desire. He would betray the others without confessing to the friar. And so he hurried to the pharmacy, intent on buying an elixir of potency. He asked the pharmacist for his strongest blend of poison, so strong a colony of rats it would end. He proceeded to buy the loaves and wine, but he wasn't ready to go back yet, it wasn't time. And found the old man in an alleyway, who gave him 3 bottles to make his heart murray. He marked 2 bottles with poison inside, knowing a lot of work once his friends died. After he took their gold and brought it home, he could travel to Paris, London, and Rome. The deed was done and the sun was about to set. He ran back to the grove, he wasn't done yet. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. Although money and food are nice, they become dangerous when they turn into greed and avarice. Material wealth is a blessing from the verse, but when it is corrupted, it becomes a curse. In short, the ending is of a sordid sort. The two killed the one like ill wind blowing north. One said to his mate, now let us rejoice. We will laugh at this fool as he watches with no voice. And the two drank the bottles and had little sips. They soon very quickly began to feel a freaky trip. One looked at two only to see his mouth foam. He quickly realized he wouldn't roam no more. And so it was an hour after all three had perished that death stood over them. The scene he relished.
Congregants said the partner, we all have sinned, but thank God, God loves all of us. We are all His children. If there's one thing in hell, the pervasive evil of avarice and greed can all be avoided by doing this one deed. Everyone come by my paper partner. You know, I got my partners over here. You know what I'm saying? They'll save me hell from the dreaded one. Will punish and run this body down to the ground senseless, cheating on your wives and wearing slutty dresses. Come acquire charms from a guy who's certified, and I promise you your body will be shielded from rats and lies. Finally, your soul will go to heaven, like bread that is leavened, and enjoy the bliss of the Garden of Eden. Come, customers, get saved by me. Come on, hold. I saw what you host. I smell the money.
Hell no, said the host. If I do, God forbid, may the devil cut my stick and scratch my eyelid. You try to hustle us, but I'm not deceived. You preach is scarce, but I do not believe. On the great names of the landlord, I swear, I wish I had you nuts cut off from your underwear, shine and thrown into a pig's guts, get lost, you stupid delusional putz.
The partner was fuming, incensed. The partner was fuming, angry, incensed. He hadn't expected the host to take his words with mocking interest.
The night sensing the host's mocking and the partner's hostility, managed to bring peace between them, like civility. But can you hear it now?
Out the corner of my eye, I saw a pretty little thing approaching me. She said, I never seen a man who looks so all alone. Could you use a little company? If you pay